Okay, so in this problem, we're asked to find the surface area of the front, the back, and the two sides of this building. We don't need to find the surface area of the roof because we're going to wind up painting this building and we're not going to paint the roof part. So the house is made up of three shapes. We have rectangle A, which is the side over here. We have rectangle B, which is the front of the house, and all we have to do is draw a little line kind of this way to see where the rectangle B goes. And then we have triangle, which is just represented by the red. So it's the very top part of the building here. So our first step is to use the net in order to fill in the missing dimensions. Okay, so we're going to start with A over here. So we have our length, which is 7 feet. And then we have our width, which is 3, or our height, however you want to think about it. So again, we just have our 7 by 3, and we went ahead and we drew that our 7 by 3. Then our B is our front of our building. So there we have a 4 by 3 feet. So keep in mind, we're only looking at this shape right here, this rectangle. So the entire height of both the triangle and my rectangle is 4, but we just want the height of the rectangle. So we have a 4 by 3. Okay, and then we come to our triangle. Remember, for our triangle, we need to know this height. So we need to know how tall it is and the base. So the base of my triangle is 4 feet. And then my height I can find out because I know that the height of the triangle plus the rectangle is equal to 4, and the height of just the rectangle is equal to 3. So if I take the height of both of them, which is 4, and I subtract out the height of just the rectangle, I know that my height of my triangle, which is right here, is equal to 1 foot. So the height of my triangle, again, 1 foot. And my base is equal to 4 feet. Now I'm ready to move on to part B. So calculating the surface area of each shape. So remember, the surface area of both my rectangles can be found by my length times my width. So my surface area is equal to my length times my width. For this shape, it's equal to 7 times 3. And 7 times 3 is equal to 21. Our units are feet, and because we're in area, remember area is always squared. For B, again, my area, I'll put that up here, is equal to my length times my width. So my area of this shape is equal to 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. And then my units, again, are feet, and because it's area, it's always squared. The surface area of a triangle is 1/2 my base, so my bottom of my triangle, times my height. And again, my height has to be perpendicular to my base. So I have my area is equal to 1/2 my base times my height. And in this case, the area is equal to 1/2, my base being 4, and my height being 1, which is equal to 2. Again, my units are in feet, and again, area, so my area is squared. My next step, step C, is go ahead and multiply the surface area of each shape by 2. And the reason that I multiply each shape by 2 is because I have 2 of them. So I have 2 A's. So I'm going to multiply the surface area of A by 2. So 21 feet squared times 2 is equal to 42 feet squared. I have 2 of my B rectangles. So again, I have 12 feet. 12 feet squared times 2 is equal to 24 feet squared. And finally, I have my triangle, which is 2 feet squared. And again, I do have 2 of those too. 1, 2 triangles. So I'm going to take my 2 feet squared, multiply it by 2, and I get 4 feet squared. In order to find the total surface area, I need to go through and I need to add all of my surface areas together. So I have my 42 feet squared from my A's. I am adding my 24 feet squared from my B's. And then for my triangles, I have my 4 feet squared. So if I add all of those values together, I get my final answer, which is 72 feet squared, is the entire surface area of the house that I am going to be painting over here.